So the big question is this: how do investors like us who trade options and manage our own money generate income regardless of where the stock market goes, and do it all in a way that lets us make time for the people and things we love, and yet still build wealth and remain profitable? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. I'm your host, Kirk Duplessis, and you're listening to The Daily Call from Option Alpha. Hey everyone, Kirk here again at OptionAlpha.com, and welcome back to The Daily Call. Today's Daily Call is one of my favorite topics, and we're going to be talking about the two things that you need to be successful. I've 100% mentioned these numerous times, right? On webinars, probably on podcasts. I don't even know, probably on this Daily Call before, because I don't remember all of them that we've done exactly and what I've mentioned before. I know we haven't covered this topic specifically, but I might have mentioned it before. But the only two things that you need to be successful are consistency and persistence. I firmly believe this. I really 100% true to my core, down to my gut, deep inside of me, believe that those are the only two things that you really need to be successful at whatever you do. Because I didn't say successful at trading, I said successful. And I'm a geek, and many of you know this, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd. I totally geek out on studying people who are successful and companies that are successful and countries that are successful. I totally geek out on that stuff. And the common thread between all of that is always consistency and persistence. So I want to break this down for you so you understand how I look at it. And this is part of the reason why I do the daily podcast now, and why I do this daily call. So the first one is you've got to be consistent. And that's really consistent in doing the right activities that will lead to success. So consistency can be anything that you can do. It's basically a habit. So if you think about consistency, it's really effectively a habit. Your brain, as much as humanly possible, tries to reduce energy and reduce strain. And the best way that it does that is through habits. So if you can develop a habit and have a consistent track record of doing the right thing, eventually your brain takes over. Your brain switches gears and turns it into a habit. Like you probably didn't think about this morning, getting up out of bed and brushing your teeth. You didn't think about how you brush your teeth. Like I'm doing this in the microphone, like you guys see me brushing my teeth, air brushing my teeth, but I'm saying you didn't think like, okay, I brush the left side and then I brush the right side, then I turn it, right? Like it just happens. I mean, you probably do almost the exact same motion without even thinking about it. And researchers have actually studied people who like brush their teeth and comb their hair and put on their shoes. They do almost the exact same motion for the exact same amount of time without even thinking about that. How is that humanly possible? How is it possible that we can do, like brushing our teeth can be down to seconds consistently for like months at a time, the exact same motion, because it's a habit, because we develop that habit, we have that consistency. And so what you should be trying to do in all aspects of your life is just be consistent. Just be there, be present. People have often said that you don't have to like be smarter than someone, you just have to beat them to the spot. So you don't have to be the valedictorian. You don't have to be, the smartest person in the class. You just have to be earlier than everyone else. You just got to beat them to the spot and always get there. Never miss a day. That's part one, consistency, doing the right activities. The second part here is persistence. This is the toughest part. This is truly, I think, the toughest part for people in anything that they do, especially trading, is the persistence to do the same activity over and over again when you don't feel like doing it or when you face some sort of pushback. So I'll give you an example of this with regard to trading, because I think this was really helpful. I see people all the time who sign up for our membership and go through our free training and go through our free courses. And we lay out everything. We tell them what the edge is. We tell them how to do it. It's step by step in the tracks. It's all there for them. And I get a bombardment of emails every single month from people who ask me basically, and this is the overarching question that they ask, if it's this easy, why isn't everyone doing it? And my reply to them is always generally the same. It's easy to be healthy and fit. You have to go to the gym and you got to eat right. That's easy. There's no guesswork involved in that, right? Like the mechanics could be different. You could run versus lift weights. You could do, swimming versus biking. Like the mechanics don't matter, but it's easy to be in shape and be healthy. You go to the gym, you work out, and you eat right. Now, that's not rocket science. You can learn that. The only hard part about that is the persistence or the actual activity of going to the gym when you don't feel like it, of picking up an apple when you want to have ice cream. That's the hard part. So in trading, people always say like, Kirk, this stuff is so easy. Why doesn't everyone do this? I'm like, you're right. Why doesn't everyone do this? That's why we're doing this. That's why I'm doing this podcast. That's why you're listening to me right now, because I think everyone could do this. There's plenty of room in this market for this market to explode and expand, and for options trading to be exponentially bigger market than it is right now. And more people will eventually get into it. But the people who are going to be successful are the ones who are persistent in doing the right thing day after day, going through a losing trade and still trading, right? Going through a drawdown and still trading. Heck, even going through a really good string of profitable trades and not increasing your allocation size, not becoming overzealous and assuming that you have found the golden goose, that you found the fountain of youth, right? And keeping your position size in check, looking at a setup. And even though it looks really good, and even though you're like salivating at how good this setup looks, to keep your position size in check. It's that persistence in doing the right thing over and over and over again that always wins out. And that's why I, frankly, have started doing these daily podcasts, these daily calls, because I wanted to have yet another thing that I had to do every single day that kept me on track. And running this website and doing these calls and doing the strategy calls and doing the webinars and doing the video updates every single night keeps me on track. And by keeping me on track, it's made me 1,000 times better of a trader than maybe I would have ever been had I just tried to do this by myself. So hopefully that helps out tonight. Hopefully you take two of these things, these two major things, and apply them somewhere in your life. I don't care if it's trading. I don't care if it's in finances. Maybe it's in relationships. Maybe it's at your job. Maybe it's with, family members or whatever the case is. Apply it somewhere, and I think you'll see a dramatic improvement. So until next time, happy trading. Thanks for joining us on the Daily Call. Be sure to subscribe right now for more daily options trading ideas, strategies, and tactics to help you learn how to place smarter, more profitable trades. And if you like what we're doing, don't forget to give us a rating and a review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you again tomorrow, right here on the Daily Call from OptionAlpha.com.